What if millions of women could earn without formal jobs?
And what if it all started with just one woman?
Sounds unlikely, right? Almost too simple to change something so big.
But that's exactly what happened. One idea, one step, and it transformed millions of lives.
Today, we are talking about Ela Bhatt, a leader who didn't chase power.
But created it for others.
This isn't just her story.
It's the story of a quiet revolution.
Hi everyone, I am Geetanshi Maheshwari.
And I am Shivangini Rathore.
And today we are exploring a leader who didn't rely on position, authority, or fame, yet created massive impact.
Yes, we are diving into grassroots leadership through the life of Ela Bhatt.
So, who exactly is Ela Bhatt? She was an Indian social reformer and the founder of Self-Employed Women's Association or SEWA.
And what makes SEWA unique is that it's a union for women in the informal sector, something that didn't really exist before.
But what's interesting is her journey didn't begin with leadership. She grew up in Ahmedabad in a family influenced by Gandhian values, simplicity, justice, dignity of labor.
And studying law gave her a structured understanding of rights and systems, which later shaped her work.
But the real shift happens when she steps into the real world.
Exactly. In the 1960s, she began working with the Textile Labor Association.
And that's where she saw the ground reality, especially the struggles of women workers.
Which led to a turning point in 1972. She founded SEWA.
And that's important because she moved from observing problems to building solutions.
Later, her impact was recognized globally through roles like the Rajya Sabha and awards like the Raymond Magsaysay Award.
So it's really a journey from understanding the system to transforming it.
So, what problem did she actually notice?
A huge number of women were working, but they weren't recognized as workers.
Like vendors, home based workers?
Exactly. And because of that, no legal protection, no job security.
Which means unstable income too.
Yes, and exploitation, no health care, no access to credit. Despite contributing so much, they were invisible.
So, what did she take away from this?
That this wasn't just poverty, it was invisibility. These women were already working, just not recognized or organized.
That reminds me of collective identity, how leadership helps people see themselves as a we.
Exactly. Before SEWA, they didn't see themselves as a group. But once that identity formed, everything changed. Voice, bargaining power, confidence.
And that's how SEWA was born. Not just an organization, but a movement.
It gave women recognition as workers, access to savings, credit, insurance, and most importantly, a voice.
When you look at it, the impact was massive.
Economically, millions of women moved towards financial independence.
And that changed their role in families and communities.
Plus, microfinance, access to savings, credit, insurance, things that were once out of reach.
And beyond individuals, it influenced policies, bringing recognition to informal workers not just in India but globally.
It started small, but reshaped how we think about work, dignity, and leadership.
What stands out about her leadership is how grounded it was. She stayed deeply connected to the community.
Which helped her understand real problems, not just from data, but lived experiences.
And she didn't just help people, she empowered them. Women became decision makers, not just participants.
That created ownership and real change.
And then comes trust. She wasn't seen as an authority, but as one of them.
Which made collaboration stronger than hierarchy.
Her Gandhian values, simplicity, empathy, collective growth, shaped everything.
And most importantly, self-reliance. She didn't want followers, she created leaders.
That's what makes her leadership truly, truly powerful.
If her impact was so big, why don't we hear about her more?
Because she worked in the informal sector, huge but often invisible, and she never chased the spotlight. No media hype, no personal branding.
So she got overshadowed by more visible leaders.
But maybe that says more about what we notice, because impact doesn't always need to be loud to be powerful.
So, what do we really learn from her journey?
That leadership isn't about control, it is about empowering others.
And real change doesn't always start at the top, it often begins at the grassroots.
Ela Bhatt proves that you don't need authority to lead, just purpose, empathy, and the ability to bring people together.
Thank you all for listening.
We would love to hear your thoughts, questions, or perspectives on this.